Creepy story pt.3 strange neighbors. We moved into a new town. I don't think the neighbors are normal. Stop playing with that, Adam. My dad yelled at me. I was sitting in the back seat playing with a toy gun. I immediately put it down. My dad was driving and my mom was in the passenger seat. We were moving away from Philadelphia, PA and moving to Downingtown, PA. I didn't know the main reason, but I think it was to get away from the weirdos and drug addicts living there. I didn't pay much mind to the move though. When we arrived at the new house, everything was different. When I lived in Philadelphia, I was used to apartments being everywhere you went and seeing the skyline from my block. Now, I was living in a suburban community. We got out the car and were immediately greeted by our new neighbors. "Hello, I am Ron and this is my wife Samantha," said one of the neighbors to my dad. Ron and Samantha were both Hispanic. They lived in the house to the right of us. Their house was beautiful compared to ours. They had a balcony and they had a built-in pool in the backyard, while we had a really big front porch with only a shed in the backyard. "If you ever need anything, let us know," Ron said. "Thank you, Ron," my dad said. Ron and Samantha left and went back to their house. They were creepy, don't you think? My mom asked my dad. "Yeah, but they seem friendly." My dad responded. We were unpacking the car and eventually moved everything in. As we were getting settled, the doorbell rang. My dad got up from the couch and checked the window. It was Ron and Samantha again. My dad opened the door. "Hey, what time do you guys usually go to sleep?" Ron asked my dad. "Why, what's it to you?" My dad responded, "Well, I don't want my family to be an annoyance to you guys because we are pretty active day and night," Ron said. He started chuckling. My dad looked at Ron like he had 3 heads. "Yeah, I ain't telling you shit. Get off my porch," my dad said to Ron. Ron gave my dad a mean, insulting, and weird look. Before leaving with Samantha following, my dad closed the door. "Leanne, you're right, they are fucking creepy," my dad yelled over. I was watching TV, as at the time that's all we could do. I was overthinking the situation. Did we really leave Philly to get away from weirdos just to run into a family of weirdos next door to us? I thought to myself. 3 hours later, I was getting ready to go to sleep. I went into the bathroom and was brushing my teeth. I looked out the bathroom window and saw 2 people entering the shed in the backyard. It was too dark to see what they looked like. I immediately spat out my toothpaste and went to get my dad. My dad got up with his pistol and went to check the shed. He found nothing. I was confused. I could have swore I just saw 2 figures go in our shed. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, the doorbell rings again. My dad goes to open the door and is greeted by Ron again. "What is it, Ron?" my dad asked. Ron stared at him with this cold stare. "You want a dog?" Ron asked my dad. "Hey, fuck? Know why I would need a dog?" My dad was cut off. Ron took out a small dog from his hoodie pocket and threw it in the house. Ron ran away. The dog was bloodied up and was decapitated. My dad called the police while me and my mom were freaking out. The police arrived and my dad told them everything. The dog ended up being a fake dog, and my dad was warned for a prank call. When it was nighttime, I looked outside towards Ron's house and stared at it. I wanted to make sure I could catch them in the act of doing something. Ron and Samantha came out the house. Both of them were wearing hoodies. I saw them leave their house and go into our property. Then they were out of my sight. I immediately threw on my Crocs and left the house. I started recording on my cell phone. The shed door was open, so they went into the shed. I went into the shed. The shed looked like a normal shed. There was nothing here. I looked around the walls and found a lever. I pulled the lever and the ground beneath me started opening and eventually showed a staircase leading down. I was now scared. I slowly started walking down the stairs and was led to a big room. I saw Ron and Samantha and immediately went behind a bookshelf. The room was massive. The walls were filled with photos of people I didn't recognize. I was still recording. I saw Ron opening a small closet, and I saw what was inside. Inside were dead bodies. They all had cloth wrapped around their mouth and had stab wounds all over them. I was freaking out, but remained silent. "So, the new neighbors? They next?" I heard Ron ask Samantha. "Yep." Samantha responded. "Even the kid?" Ron asked. "All of them," Samantha said. I heard this and ran out of the room, up the staircase, and out the shed. I went into my house and woke up my parents and showed them what I recorded. They immediately called 911, but by the time the police responded, they were gone. The police ran an investigation and searched the shed and the house. Turns out they were mass serial killers who killed anyone who moved into the house we were living in and were using our shed to hide the bodies. Ron and Samantha haven't been caught, and we have moved to another town.